scenario. The beginning of our company was very humble. There were only 17 attendees at the first seminar. In fact, I believe that it took nearly a year to get a couple of hundred participants. In the beginning, things happened very slowly. Even after 2 to 3 months, we only had about 21 to 23 people. Today, we see a daily increase of 2 to 3. And the secret for the success is very simple. Here's how I view it. Atomy is a distributor. It's that simple. Distribution is selling of great products at low products. So I had this idea. So we should sell good products at lower prices. So how good it is? It should be as good as anyone, and the price should be as low as others. It is not that it is actually an absolute price, absolutely lower price than others. So this is called absolute quality and absolute price. This was the very initial framework for Atomy. So that way we believe that we could not really fail. Network marketing. We are a MLM business company. Here's how it works. We enjoy a daily necessity, which happens to be of great quality and low price, so you recommend it to someone else. The company then pays you. No harm is done to everyone, right? Anyone, so you have to buy it anyway. And if you like it, you can keep using it, and you can introduce it to others, and that person can also use the product, and that person would invite others, and that would increase the number of customers, and that way you can get the compensation, and that way you can earn a lot of compensation. There's the condition, the product should be very cheap and should be very necessity.
All of you here, you are taking your first step on a journey of believing the universal truth and also the common beliefs. Atomy is a place that is fully furnished with a system that will enable you to reach your success. So there is no system like us existing in other competitors, in other MLMs companies. They don't have these seminars like us. They only have their contractors giving out commission to them whenever they sold products. But we provide everything to you. And we don't force anyone to buy our products or to spend a lot of money. We don't want things like this happen, so we provide our seminars. So Atomy is equipped with this kind of system that other MLM companies cannot dream of. So you guys have witnessed a lot of successful people from Atomy, then you should believe that you can also gain a bigger success. But you have to work in the right way in order to obtain the success in the end. So of course a lot of people want to success, but what do you think? Are there more successful people or more failing, more losers in the world? And there is a survey showing that usually for year 0 to year 30 we usually study, but between 30 to 60 we work, and between 60 to 90 it's our retirement. But nowadays there are rumors that we might live to 100 years old or 120 years old. So it will be very scary because you've spent 30 years study, 30 years to work, but you still have to live 60 years after that as a retirement with no money. And usually people retire at this age, they stop working. And according to the data, only 1% of these people can become successful, become a rich people, and only 4% of them will able to become financial independent. And about 15% passed away in an early age, way before turning 60, and the remaining 10% of the people are working every day. And the remaining 70%, they have no money, no savings, no work to support their lives. So where do you belong? You should belong to this 1%, right? Because you spend 30 years working, 30 years learning, you spend a lot of hard work. You should be either rich or somehow financially independent. Even if you're not rich, you shouldn't have to ask for help. However, most people aren't like this. The reality is 95% of the people are destined to fail. So when you're older, what follows? Sickness. If you become sick, you cannot work, which means you don't have money. Unless someone cares for you and help you by your side, or else your life will become very problematic. So this is a very serious problem. If you don't have a concrete plan for your old age, then the later 30, even 60 years of your life can be a nightmare. So this is one of the two issues that we must take care of. I wonder why we see such a small number of successful person in the world. And another person who wondered about this question is Carnegie, Andrew Carnegie. So he's once born in a very poor family but become famous and also become very rich. And when he looked back at his life, he wondered whether he would become successful again. And his conclusion was, yes, he would have become successful again. No matter how many times you've been thrown to this situation, the outcome will be the same. But however, most of the people cannot have this confidence to success. So he wondered why the people think like that. And then he realized that he knows something called the law of success. Since he knew it, the law of success, he will always be succeeding in no matter what situation. But however, other people couldn't do this. So he wanted this law of success to be known by the other people. So the law of success is something real similar to the law of nature. So there's an American author, Covey, call this theory as a true north theory. So please raise your fingers, point to where you think north is. So some people point this way, some people point that way. Actually, I don't know the answer. So what should we use to know where is north? We need a compass, because a compass will show us where exactly north is. So let's say we decide this way is north by a majority decision, but this doesn't work because north is already predetermined. If you follow the law, then you will success. If you do not follow it, then you will fail. And some people call this theory the law of farming. So when farmers grow crops, he must make the decision according to the law of farm. If you want to get rice in the spring, then you must harvest in the autumn. This is the theory of farming. So what must a farmer do before anything else? Some people say he should prepare seeds, he should prepare the land first, he should have money to buy their equipment, he should hire workers, he should prepare equipment. But the very first things the farmer should do is to decide how much and what he's going to harvest. So the harvest ceases in the fall, right? When farmers begin preparing, they have to decide what they want to harvest first, and the end is decided in the beginning. Let's say a farmer has a plot of land and he wants to plant some peanuts. So should he plant it in a wet paddy? No, of course not. That's why you need to decide first of what you want as your final goal. If your goal is 2 tons of peanuts, you must get a sandy field near a river. That decision dedicates the tools, the process, the methods, and any other thing. So this is why you have to put the result in your hand, just like the farmer plants his crops. So next comes the seeds, the field, the other decisions. So now you should think, what is your goals, your plans that you want to reap in the field of your life? What kind of yourself you would like to see? The internal, the mental vision of yourself must be appeared in your own imagination. In your head, you must have a very clear version of a successful you in 3 to 5 years. A vision of what you want to look like near the future must be developed right now. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't really think about this problem. If I ask, how can you succeed? You may say, I must have more money. And what house you want to live in? I want a big house. I want a nice house. And imagine going to shop for a house. When people ask you, what do you want to buy? And you said, I want to buy a big house, a nice house. Do you think a person like this can buy a house? No, of course not. Some people ask, what car you like? Some people said, I want a nice car. If someone says something like this, they usually don't even have the driving license because they have no idea of this car, what car they want. So you must think beforehand. You must imagine what car you like in your head before buying a car. So you must think about the goals, the future you want to live in your brain before making your decisions. So I would like to ask, are you happy with your current situation? Sometimes I saw people satisfied with their life, but most of the people are not happy with their life. Maybe you don't like yourself as a parent, or maybe you think that you aren't that a great child to your parents. And also, some husbands don't really think they're being very nice to their wives. And also, the wives don't really like their husband too. So people are not happy with their life. So what should they do? They should make a clear and detailed plans for a better future in their head. So we have to do this, but this is not easy. It's very complicated because you need to be rich and you also need to be smart.
그럼 되겠어요, 안 되겠어요? 안 되겠죠. 돈은 있는데
If you are rich but you're being criticized by your peers, this can't be called as a successful life, can it? Believe me, it is very complicated because there are a lot of elements in a human being. This is how it was made because our bodies are made of flesh, and also there is a spirit in us. And next, we have a soul in us. And lastly, we are surrounded by environment. Therefore, when we put together these four parts, they will form our human body. But these elements require different things. They have different requirements. So flesh is not completely what we are made of, because the most important thing is the spirit and the soul. If there are some people who look very handsome, they have a very good appearance, we cannot say they are a good person. Why not? Because it depends on the soul and the spirit inside of the people. But still, we have to satisfy our flesh. So flesh requires several conditions. What it needs? Most of all, it needs a sense of safety. So firstly, we have to take care of our food, our clothing, and our shelters. And also, we have to be healthy. And we also want to live comfortably, and we want to live a good life without worrying anything. Now, if we don't have these things, we'll be very unstable. So, in conclusion, we want to live healthily, live a good life, and it means that we want to live well. And in the next element, it's spirit. A lot of people mixed up the concept of spirit and soul, but I am telling you that these two things are separate. For example, our conscience belongs to soul. Animals have soul, but they don't have spirit. So animals don't have conscience. Imagine a dog bite a neighbor, and will the dog go home and feel sad about it? Have you ever seen a dog like that? No, there won't be dogs like that. And on the other hand, we humans are capable of feeling remorse, and even when we don't want to. This is one of the features of human beings. So this is our spirit. And also the spirit is desire for the eternity. It is a concept of time. Even if we die, even if our flesh dies, but the spirits actually live forever. So I summarize this aspect as love. Next, our soul wants to know the unknown and have a peace of mind. So human emotions are included in this part. With practice, we can control this element by ourselves. This joy, anger, sorrow, and pleasure are all fall into this category. And we have a desire to know the unknown, to learn new things. And also, there are two types of environment, natural environment and a social environment. We desire to contribute to the environment, to both the natural and social environments. So the bottom line is, if we want to be success, we need to figure out what kind of person we want to be. Then we must possess these four elements. Let me tell you what is a life. It's like when all these requirements was fulfilled, you can have a balanced life. So this must be very harmonized, very balanced. Some people couldn't do it. They some people just want money, they just want care about money, and they don't care about their families, right? But despite we want to be rich, we also want to be respected and being loved as well. So these elements should be included in your life. So once again, you must think of a successful person of you in your hand before achieving these goals. So before a house is built, the architect have to design the house in their brain. So every building that you see is a product of those unseen thoughts. So where should your successful life come from? It should come from your head, come from your imagination. If you don't create this vivid and detailed image of yourself living a successful life in 3 to 5 years, then you'll be still living your current life, that you will not be satisfied. So imagine a ship that departs a port, sailing without a destination. Where would it end up to be? It would sail aimlessly, and in the end, it will be wrecked in the ocean. So if you feel the same way, it's because you didn't have a destination of life. You just flowing on the ocean without any destination, without any goals. So please decide your destination. You must have a clear destination of your life for 3 to 5 or even 10 years from now, and you should have all these things in your head. So it can be very complicated. So I suggest to make it like a movie and picture yourself living in your dream house, driving your dream car, and sending your children to great schools, support your parents, do charity work for the needy. Imagine your future self as if you are directing a film, and make your film as vivid as possible. So there we have a template called someone's life scenario, and all you have to do is to fill in the blanks. So the template is like this. Each condition needed to live well should be used inside this template at least once. You can write down health, and you can write down houses and cars. And in order to fulfill our desire for love, we can write down filial duties or also volunteering. For learn, you can focus on your children's education, or you can also put the volunteering. So then you should totally up your current you. So you should think, are you healthy in the current situation? If you think it's okay, put down 5 points and compare your current home with your dream home. So just say you're living in a small house and you want a big house, then give yourself 2 points. If you are driving not a very good car, to give 2 points to yourself. And you're now supporting your parents in your heart only, then you can put down 1 point, and so on. You never go to travel. For cash, you're in debt, etc. So after putting down these marks, please connect the dots, and this will make you the wheel of life. If all of your points is 10 points, then your wheel of life will become very round and it will roll easily, very smoothly. So what should you do in order to achieve a very perfect wheel of life? You should write down all the criteria in the boxes behind. So try to describe what kind of house you want to live in, what kind of car you want to drive, and how do you want to give your children a better education, and how you do your charity work, and write them in details in the boxes. I believe all of you want to help others, right? Now, I was so frustrated for not being able to help the others when I was poor, and I feel really sorry about it. If you start making a lot of money, it's not interesting just keep on earning the money. It's more fun to give them away. So it's more blessed to give than receive. This is said in the Bible. You'll understand once you do it. If you experience giving out your wealth, you'll realize immediately. But it's not easy. Giving is an art. You have to decide who to give, when to give, and you have to help the people closer to you first. Let's say you give $5,000 to your siblings and $10,000 to your cousins. What happens if your siblings find out you give $10,000 to your cousins? Now they will feel very sad, right? Because they are more close to you. So you should decide, you should figure out the sequence of giving out. And all the husbands here, stop making your wives worry about money. And now promise yourself by doing 3 no's. No cooking, no cleaning, and no laundry. A lot of husbands don't think like this. And all the ladies here, tell yourself 3 no's. No cooking, no cleaning, no laundry. This should be your goal. And from now on, your focus should be on earning income but not saving money. So let's say we have income and expense. People always was preoccupied by reducing the expense. Now they try so hard to reduce their expense. But this is not useful. This will never make you rich. Let's say a person makes $3,000 a month. And will it make him a millionaire if he just reducing his expense? No, you should never let your spending decide your income. But people control their spendings based on their earnings, but this is wrong. What should you do? You should decide your expense first. Think of your writing down your life scenario. If you want to live a decent life, you want to be a good person, you are going to need at least $20,000. First, you have to set a target of spending $30,000 a month. Next, you have to find a way to make that kind of money. This is how you can become rich. So a decent life requires quite a large income. In order to live in a fancy house, drive your dream car, etc., you need a lot of money, more than 3 to 7K. You need much more so that you can be able to give your wealth to the others. And also, you have to help people in a harder situation than you. A lot of people said, I will help the others when I have the money. But people like this will never actually help people because all they think about is their wealth. So you have to make it a habit to help the others, just like our company did. It's about 5 to 6 months after the company was established, I got my first paycheck. It was not a big amount, but I go to a nearby school and ask if they want a donation of $200. And I don't know because the amount is so small, I don't know if they want it. But the teachers at the school are very grateful, saying that this is not little, we can help more people with this money. And when our situation improved, we start giving more and more. And later we give out more hundreds, thousands every year. So I'm saying you should want to live a lifestyle in which you can help out the poor so that you can be respected by the others and you should love the others. So all these images you have to put in your imagination, in your brain. And a lot of people say, whether I can really live a success life just by thinking about it. And I will tell you, yes. If you dream a life like this, it will come true in the future. Well, how is it possible? Because our bodies are built like this. Our bodies cannot tell the difference between the real world and the imagination in our heads. So many of you here, I think you must be very tired getting up every morning, right? But I can fix this. Of course, taking Hemohim is very effective on its own, but there is something that's more effective than Hemohim. It works wonder on your immune system. So what is it? It's money. Imagine there are $30,000 being deposited to your bank account every month. Will you still feel very tired every morning, or you will feel very light and refreshed? You will just spring out the bed. And your bodies are actually have a very specific way to stimulus. Let's imagine now I put some very sweet pomegranate seeds in your mouth. And when you bite it down, you will taste the juicy, the sweet juice. And now what just happened inside your mouth? Just raise your hand if you didn't salivate. You should see a doctor. And our body responds to stimulus in the same way when we have a real experience or just imagination. So once you start imagination yourself making a lot of money every month and build this vivid image in your head, your body will start responding to it. And you'll never feel exhausted. You'll have confidence in your voice, you have a different look, you have a different attitude. Just by thinking, living a successful life, then you'll be more obvious, you'll be more energetic. When you call your friends, you should say, hey, come here. And what happened? I found something unbelievable. Come here, I'll explain to you in person. I'm very busy, you should come here right away.
But if you are not confident, you would say like, it's not my business. One of my friends is doing it, and she's saying that she's finding it really hard to find the customer, so I'm calling you. And that way you would fail. You should change the way you think. Then your attitude, your voice, your eyes would become different, and everything would come from your mind. Atomy also came from my mind. Our goal is 100 trillion when Grandmaster can get 300 million Korean won. And at the time, we thought it is impossible, but we made it reality. At the early stage, many people didn't really believe that. Now, Imperial Master, we say we will give you 1 billion Korean won, and it is 100 kilogram. And 1 billion, I haven't really had any time to count every paper, but I actually did it later on, and I found that it is actually 100 kilogram. And when I was really poor, I was calculating that 1 billion, what is the weight? How? So I calculated how I can move that much money. So we have the forklift, right? When I had a really cheap car, I got the idea of having the forklift. The forklift came from my mind. So same thing. Your successful life would also come from your mind. Everyone here, I hope, can become very successful. I hope everyone here in this room can actually help your family, your loved ones, and many people who are in need. And I hope you can dream vividly together. This is the end of my lecture. Thank you.